Hi, and welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And today, I'm going to work on sewing the Holt Mercantile Quilt Seeds patterns, which is the scissors and buttons. And today, I'm just going to concentrate on getting the small buttons and those big buttons sewn together. So I'm not going to give any of the sizes out because it's not my pattern, but I have cut all of it, and there is a lot of cutting. This is all the pieces for the buttons, and then we have all this big pile over here, which is all the pieces for everything else. Now, in this, I did use my alphabetties to mark the sides, all the shapes. Now, it did go into not only through the whole alphabet, then went into double letters of the alphabet, and then even to triple letters. So my alphabetties, I have a couple sets of just the letters, and then I had one set with the double letters, and then when it went to the third level letters, the triple letters, I just used my 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think, as far as it went, because I think it only went to a triple D. But I'm going to get my pieces and get started here. So, these pieces down here are for the big buttons. These are for the little buttons. So, it just needs me to make some pieces like this. Get some of my bees over here. And these will go here. And then I need to put these in the corners. So, now, as you know, I like to pin. So, these are too small to pin all together, like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of stack these all up. All 5 of these little pieces. I'm just going to put a pin there, and then when I go to the sewing machine, I know they just need sewn together because those are too small to be messing with the pins. Now my C's, these little alphabetties I can set aside. And these we're just going to do some stitch and flip corners. So I'm going to go ahead and put them. And I'm just going to start making a pile for when I go to the sewing machine. I got these all together. And when I sew, I'm just going to sew diagonally right from corner to corner on each of those. Same thing. Okay, so I'm going to do that for the next 3 buttons. Okay, now these are my stack of my little buttons. Got them all together. Now I'm going to work on the bigger buttons. So I'm going to get those together. These go here. And get some of these bees here. Now, not all of this is the same fabric she used. I think pretty much most of this is Lori Holt fabric, but not all of it's the same in the pattern here in the model. You will see I've used some of these are different fabrics, but that's okay. Okay, now what I need to do is so I'm gonna get these together. those over there because I know those are all sewn together. And again, they're so little I can't really pin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these and put them off to the side. I have a feeling I should have made more of these. Oh, no, I don't need more of those because I'm only making one button. Never mind, I'm good. So I'm just going to set these off to the side for now. And still going to stack them up. Even though I'm not sewing, I'm still going to put them in the stack because I know they're going to be coming after I sew. So then I'm going to need that. I'm going to need a few of these. Stack them up because I know they go there. And I'm going to need one more to go in my stack. Like I said, even though these aren't being sewed, I still put them in order for when I come back. I know these are the next pieces to keep going. Now, if I was sewing this and not making a video, I would go like this through the whole pattern before I ever get to the sewing machine. However, I think that would make it a little bit hard to do while making a video, so I am only going to do just the buttons today. So, alright, so I'm going to do this again for this button. Okay, so I have my pile over here at the sewing machine, so I'm going to start sewing this together. So I've got my 5 pinned together here. These I'm not going to pin because they are so tiny. And then before I go on to the next one, I'm just going to do this and sew corner to corner. And I do this just because I don't want to break the thread in my sewing machine if I don't have to. Because once when I cut the thread, my needle has a tendency to come unsewn, and I don't like having to constantly thread it. So I just try not to break that thread or cut that thread, but just to keep sewing. Alright, then I'll cut this one, and I'll come do that. This goes corner to corner. And I'll sew this on. And these are pretty tiny pieces. I'm going to clip that because that's all sewn together. So I'm going to come get this one. And I'm going to sew this piece on. Okay, and then sew this one corner to corner. Now I'm going to clip this. It has the 5 squares. I'm going to put that down. Then I'm going to put this piece I already sewn on top. I'm going to set this aside. Take these. And we're going to do the same thing. Clip that. And this piece I took out to get to these, I'm going to put that side. So this is how I like to work, how I get a lot of stuff done. I make these piles and I just go through them and keep getting smaller as we go. And I try to keep everything organized, and that's what works for me. So I'm going to speed this up as I continue down this pile. Okay, so now I just have to press these. Now I didn't really give any instructions on these as which way to press them, but since these are so small, I think I'm going to press them open. This I'm probably just going to press that way, but I'm going to go ahead and press all these blocks. Okay, so I'm just working on putting these small buttons together here. So I just clip the corners. I'm going to take this and pin this down. Now they did turn out a little wonky, but that's okay. By the time you sew them, it'll be all fine. And that's just because I like to pin, and I couldn't pin because they were super small, and you know, but it's alright. Like I said, it will work out. So I'm just going to continue pinning these for the small and the large buttons. I'm making my piles. Now, even though a top and a bottom goes on these parts, I'm only going to pin the top one to start off with, just because they are so small and there's not a lot of room to do that pinning. Alright, I'm going to keep pinning. So I'm back over at the sewing machine, gonna sew my pile of stuff down here. Now I do have a lot of pins for it being such a small piece, but I like to put a pin on each side of the seam since I pressed open. So, and since this piece is a lot bigger than those little bitty squares I started out with, I can put them there. So I am just, again, work my way down this pile, keeping everything in the order that it is. Working through the rest of these button blocks. Now I am going to sew a little bit slower through these just because there is a lot of seams. But we're going to keep working on it. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to press, lay out, pin, sew, and repeat until all of my blocks are done. Okay, so I got the little buttons all done. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And 4. So now I'm working on the big buttons. I just have to add these, stitch and flip on the corners, and then there's a little strip here that I still have to add. So I'm going to go ahead, pin those on, go into the sewing machine and finish them up, and I'll show you what the big blocks look like when they're all done. Okay, so there it is, all the little button units for this. Next time, we'll do the scissors. So there's the last 2. All right, till next time. Bye.